Hello. Welcome to Justin's house. Sorry, I've been a little tired lately. Can't see how I see this whack job in my dreams. You know? Anyway, you know what this week's movie is? Like, what the heck? This has been the Justin Zone.
Justin Zone!
Why? Welcome back to the Justin Zone.
If you're feeling down, you don't have to feel alone. Just get on the internet, go to the Justin Zone. He's the best friend that you have ever known. Yes, boys and girls, it's time for the Justin Zone. Throw your brain out the window.
What the hell? Oh my God, who are you?
You're in the Justin Zone. Throw your brain
What to
out
do?
the window.
Hey.
Get what you've known. Don't adjust the screen. You're in the Justin Zone. You're in the Justin Zone. You're in
So what would the Justin Zone be without one last kick up and let's do this thing?
We're in the Justin Zone. We're in the Justin
Hi, welcome to the Justin Zone. Hold on.
Justin Zone.
Well, hello, kitties. Justin can't be here right now. My old Freddy talked to me about today's movie. Today's movie is a series I know all too well about. Nightmare on Elm Street. Now, don't worry, folks. Justin's here. Right in here. Isn't that right, Justin? Anyway, Wes Craven had just recently finished Last House on the Left. I was planning to do something else. He had an interesting idea about people who die in their sleep. But now, how was he going to do this? So he came up with the concept of having some kind of boogeyman or freak in it, and he came up with the idea after the idea of someone had stalked him, and the name of Freddy Krueger was something that he had. The guy's name was Crude in the Last House on the Left. So anyway, basically the idea is these teenagers were being stalked by some kind of phantom. He could kill them in their dreams. And now, what was interesting about this film is no one really wanted to work on horror at the time. New Line was the one that picked up this idea and decided to go with it. Now, question about who would play, well, yours truly. No one can compete with me, but they found a man named Robert Engel, who was known for doing a bunch of horror movies, but also was in the original series V. Anyway, let's continue. So now that they had, the story basically revolves around these kids again being stalked. They knew nothing about who he was or why he wanted. All they knew is they were dying and dying. So now, anyway, they're told, Nancy, the one main character, was told that by her mother that there was a filthy child murderer named Fred Krueger. Fred Krueger was the one that did all this to them. So, as you can see, she decided to take action. Now, Johnny Depp was also in this film. He died the most interesting way. Anyway, the franchise had done really well so far, although Wes Craven didn't want anything to do with any sequels or anything. Now, Freddy's Revenge came out not too long after that. It was a big flop. I was very disappointed in that. So, anyway, they had to make up something to me. So Wes Craven came back as a producer, and that's where Part 3 came in. Dream Warriors 1 and 3 out of the series were considered one of the two best out of the franchise, at least from my standpoint. Now Part 3, where Nancy does come back to tangle with Freddy one more time, where this girl keeps seeing him. The series got, some say the series did die after 3. 4 and 5 were kind of goofy, and if you notice in Part 1, you never knew when they were asleep, and you could barely sometimes see Freddy. But in the newer films, you could see him clearly. But unfortunately, you don't get to see me in this. Anyway, now with this, the franchise had... The last film was called Freddy's Dead. Now, basically, that should have said the series was done and over with. Well, Wes Craven was brought back to do one more, and he wanted to entitle it New Nightmare. And what's interesting about this one compared to the others is Freddy was to be brought into the real world as a real-life threat. Nancy, or the lady Linda Thompson who played Nancy, was brought into this. Now, as you know, Freddy and Jason tangled in Freddy vs. Jason. Although I think Jason's a big pussy. All he cares about is a machete. I have these. Anyway, the series also underwent a remake like most films did. A different guy was played Freddy in this one. Robert Eagle approved of gave thumbs up to the remake, plus the guy who played him. You can't say much, but the series itself was a great series. One is by far one of the scariest films I've ever been a part of, or in, or whatever. You know how I am. So anyway, what do you think about this, Justin? Do you want to come out? Yes, please, help me! Help me! Anyway, so all I can say is this series is definitely a must for any horror fan. The remake has its points where it's good because it follows the original. So, all I can say is if you're a huge horror fan, the entire series is at least worth watching. I've never seen New Nightmare, so I can't comment on how it is. Freddy's Dead was definitely an interesting one. It definitely had some standpoints of insight depth of more about Krueger's life. Each one builds more on who Freddy really was, and they always refer to him as the son of 100 maniacs. So anyway, you all have a pleasant good night. This has been the Justin Zone. You know what? The doll just said I was fucked! Oh, I can't say that. That's so wrong. Anyway, well, I'm awake. What? The show's already over? Well, what the heck happened? Okay, well, next week. I hope you enjoy my very, very special guest star. I hope she likes it.